Shaggy Ridge as an exercise aims to put the trainees through a number of physically and mentally arduous tasks that, while tightly controlled, keeps them at a constant state of advanced fatigue. It then puts them through a number of different scenarios, the majority of them ethical in nature, and forces each trainee to undergo an ethical dilemma or an ethical decision.
So I'm a role player here, running a scenario testing the ethical decision making of the cadets while they're under fatigue. The big dilemma though is I'm not speaking English all the time. I'm blending it with a couple of different languages to really put off the Australians.
Di luar rumah saya. Kemudian waktu saya lihat ada 5 musuh. 5 orang.
I just love being in the team aspect of Shaggy. Like, everyone's in a really bad situation, everyone's in like a really tough situation together, but I feel being a part of the team really uplifts me and allows me to work harder for other people and just always trying to achieve the end goal, which makes me quite satisfied.
We can push to that original turn in that we went off over there because there was more room.
Shaggy, personally, when you compare and contrast it to the previous our formative assessment that we did for leadership, character and ethics, I felt it was more physically demanding, so I felt weak. But now that it's more like ethically challenging, I feel a little dumb sometimes.
We found out last night we're our crankiest at night time at about 2 a.m, maybe 1 a.m. Everyone gets pretty snappy. When the sun comes up, you feel a lot better. It's just such a challenge. Like, the hardest thing is staying awake. Absolutely staying awake. Like, I'll sit down here and I'll be nodding off within like 45 seconds. Or you'll lie down on the gun and you'll be asleep in a minute. And you'll hear someone snoring over there. You'll hear like heavy breathing over there. And you'll look over at your mate and his head is just rested on the rifle. And you know what everyone's doing. Everyone's just trying to get the Zeds in.
We had a moment the other night where I think we were probably, it was maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, and we were getting pack marched up and down this same stretch of road 8-9 times. And I think the stretch of road would have been, what, maybe 800 metres? Maybe a K, maybe a bit more. And we'd get to the end, and then our sergeant would be like, oh, we got to go back again. And we get back to the end. Oh, we got to go back again. And we just go back and forth, back and forth. And looking to your left and right, and the boys being like, this is great, at 3 o'clock in the morning. And that's where you really know who your mates are.
The best experience is just those little moments. Like last night, it was about 2 o'clock in the morning, we were sorting brown rice from white rice, and we decided to brew up a bit of hot water because we didn't have any coffee, but we were all just sitting in a big circle, hanging around a jet well full of warm water, and just made us all feel really nice. Just those little 1%ers that make it a bit better.
I've learnt that I can function after not sleeping and not eating, and after doing a lot of strenuous activity. Maybe not function to the best of my ability, but I can function. And also I think I've really realised how food and sleep deprivation affects how you react to different things. Like, your brain slows down a lot, and you fatigue much easier physically. And I've never really experienced that, so I think that was pretty cool and interesting to learn.
Physically just can't, you just hit a limit, and you know normally you could push past that, or at least it would be easy to do so, but you hit that wall and it's hard from the start. You just got to grind through. So pack marches and things like that we take on a whole new element of work, and then just thinking, so processing thoughts becomes slow, and you're just like, I know the answers to these questions, but they're just not coming up so quickly. So that's been interesting, and this has been the longest period I've ever spent not sleeping.
We had 2 hours sleep beforehand, and we woke up and we were just down in the dirt. We got to the PT stand. A couple of us broke the records for the current rows, and after that our section was full of life and we were back on track, ready to go again.
1, you're on.
So the idea is that we basically just try and stick to the Frago as best we can, try and get them to do something a little bit physical and off task in relation to their fitness requirements, but no real point. It's basically to break it up and get away from the monotony of the actual exercise itself and give them something else to think about. We try and incorporate the section as a whole rather than individual activities, and then just bring them into actually increase morale for the next stand.
Don't lose your grip on the dream. right now pretty good. Just did a really good PT session with the whole section, so everyone's feeling high in spirits. That's been great.
I think the hardest thing is just, like, there's some times where, you know, it's all you can do to help the team is just, like, carry something. You know, sometimes it's hard when, you know, you can't be the person, like, you can't really help other people, you just have to do your own bit. And that's been a bit hard. Seeing some of my mates struggle a bit, it's been a bit hard. I think just the whole idea of, you know, like, you can always do more than you think you can. So you go into a stand and, you know, from stories passed down from other cadets, you know, they always say, oh, there's times where things are impossible and you can't do it. And, you know, sometimes you think to yourself, oh, damn, this is impossible. But doing more than you expected you could is probably the best thing I've taken from it.
It's those moments where you go, am I really doing this? It's a bit surreal. I think, can I do this? And then I go, I'm here with my team. I can't do this. We're going to do this. And it's just every time I went up a very steep hill, I just kept going left, right, trying to get over that hill.
It feels awesome. It's definitely a big milestone ticking off the second class. The fact that we can just sit down, relax and eat some food is pretty good.
I had a lot of apprehension coming up to this, and I feel like now that it's actually done, like, I can't believe it's actually finished. I can't believe I got through it, actually. So relieved.
Shaggy Ridge is a watershed event for the majority of trainees who proceed through the Royal Military College at Duntroon, and it remains a point of reference for them throughout their subsequent careers.